Do you know how lucky we are to have some ice?
Ice is a gateway drug to Mr. Hydration himself over here.
Elma or Alma? Elma or Alma?
Alma.
Alma
My
mater.
alma mater.
I was trying to teach him something.
But why can't the kid have ice?
You came over the top. You're an excellent driver. Do you know what that's from?
Yes, Rain Man.
Oh my God, I was shocked. All right, guys, unfortunately, the state has mandated that every class has to go to the swimming pool and do the swim unit. And I could see all their faces what? Because they love basketball. And
Yeah.
just want to play, and everybody hates swimming. And I was like, yeah, we'll get some hoops out in there. It'll be good. It'll be fun. And I'll just keep going on and on until someone was like, oh, okay.
It's April Fool's. Hello, everyone. Happy spring break 2026 for us.
Not for me.
Jim's
So
back
over.
to school.
Mhm.
It's over. Ours just began. So we are going to get started by reading our ad from The Powers Mindset. This episode of the Maley Way, I Love You But is sponsored by The Powers Mindset with Kristen Powers. Kristen is a licensed clinical social worker based here in LaGrange who works with women and moms who feel overwhelmed, stuck, or like they're carrying too much on their own. She offers therapy, coaching, practical tools to help women reset, set boundaries, and actually enjoy living their lives again. Kristen also has another amazing therapist in her practice. So between the two of them, they work with women and teens both locally and virtually. If you ever thought maybe you should talk to someone, this might be your sign. You can learn more or book a consultation at thepowersmindset.com.
I am hoping that people actually have taken us up on that because I do think she is great. She was willing to sponsor this for this past month. If she wants to do it again, she could do it again.
Feel free, be a VIP, Kristen.
Or if anyone else out there would like to sponsor us, but I think when we do this, we want to sponsor things that we believe in. I think we believe in what she's doing and the way that she does it. So
yeah, if you haven't listened to her episode yet with Jim, you definitely should take a listen. It was very, very cool, very relatable, very raw. She shared a lot of things, and it made you feel really good about yourself, and good for her. You felt happy for her too.
Yeah. So thank you for what she's done for us with this whole thing.
She was our favorite March sponsor.
Yes.
Our favorite March sponsor.
So before we start though,
okay,
I wanted to talk because tomorrow is April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
and I
love it.
we
got to do some stuff.
Well, I'm kind of sad that I'm
kids.
kind of letting you off the hook because
Okay.
I like to try to get you, and I'm still probably gonna try.
Yeah, I one in ear, one ear out the other. You'll
Yeah.
certainly be able to do me tomorrow.
I'm definitely gonna try, but I guess the reason why I tried, my mom used to be a big fan of April Fool's Day, and she would get a bunch of different people involved to trick my dad in some way. She would get all of us involved when we were really young. She would get my dad's secretary, Fran, involved. And Fran actually listens to this.
Didn't we just see Fran somewhere?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I thought we did. Okay.
No, but she listens to this. She actually bought some merch too.
Nice, Fran. Wear it to the office.
Yeah, but I remember that she, my mom used to call her up and get her involved and be like, don't tell Jim, this is what I'm going to do. And she would play a part of it every year. And my dad, you know my dad, he's a one-track mind. He would get duped every single year. And it's something that I've always...
Well, sometimes you just forget that it's actually the 1st of April.
Yeah, you forget.
I never know what day it is.
I don't know
I know what day
is.
of the week it is, but I never know the date.
Yes. And I don't know, I think it's just a thing that I like to do. And it reminded me of last year. I do it with my students a lot. And I remember last year I convinced my entire basketball classes. I was like, all right, guys, unfortunately, the state has mandated that every class has to go to the swimming pool and do the swim unit. And I could see all their faces what? Because they love basketball. And just want to play, and everybody hates swimming. And I was like, yeah, we'll get some hoops out in there. It'll be good. It'll be fun. And like, I'll just keep going on and on until someone was like, oh, okay.
It's April Fool's.
Yeah. Or it also reminded me of I was like giggling, laughing, and we were down in the South Loop. And I don't know why, I just started texting random people, and whatever like they loved or were believers in, I would send like a random text to people. Like, I think I sent one to your sister Laura, and I was like, who's big into politics, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe what happened with Michelle and Barack Obama. And then like I just went silent, and she'd be like, wait, what do you mean? What happened? And then I'd respond with like something obscure, like a cliffhanger, like, it's hard to tell what happened in these type of situations. And she would be like, wait, what do you mean? I'd be like, is there meaning to any of this? Like I would keep going on and on until finally they figured it out. And like I thought it was funny. I don't know if she did, but I was doing that with all different types of people. You think it was funny or no?
Yeah. This was already one of my love you butts. Yeah, I can just smile. You don't have to get that extra affirmation.
Okay.
That was funny. I don't remember if you did it to me or not. I was trying to think of who else you maybe did that to.
I did it to Kelly at Hinsdale Central.
Okay.
I don't know, I just like April Fool's Day.
Yeah. My dad was a big April Fool's guy too. I remember one year he would always hide our backpacks, and the one year we had to leave for school, and I don't know if it was me or Laura or Lisa, we couldn't find our backpack, and he had hidden it in the oven. And like we had looked everywhere except obviously in the oven, and we had to go to school with no backpack. And I'm sure
he never revealed it.
Well, he was at work.
Oh,
and that was like before
gotcha.
There were no cell phones.
Oh yeah, so there was nothing you could do.
There was just nothing you could do about it.
He probably thought that was hilarious when he got home.
And he probably thought it was even more funny that we were crying over it. I'm sure. I gotta think of some good things to do for the kids. They always love the classic. I always like hang their boxers, like the boys' boxers, on the fan, and then I'll turn it on when they're watching TV in the morning, and they're like, there's flying underwear, things like that. We got to figure out what to do. We'll do something. All right, so speaking of spring break, we just went to DePaul and Kentucky this past weekend, and my I Love You But is a perfect transition into that, because I love you, but you did not pull your weight in driving. Tell the listener, how much did you drive on the way there? We drove from Chicago to Greencastle, Indiana, which was 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yes.
And then we drove from Greencastle to Lexington, Kentucky. That was 3 hours and 30 minutes. Now add on an additional 90 minutes because we have to do bathroom breaks every hour, which is ridiculous because they can all never just go to the bathroom at the same time. So in a total of probably 8 hours of driving, how many hours of driving did you do on Friday?
There, I did 0.
0.
However, you kind of like driving. I don't like driving. I hate driving.
Well, I don't like driving for 8 straight hours.
Yeah, but also I drive really slow.
Well,
and I know it frustrates you that we maybe don't get to places an extra 20 minutes early.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really far ride. It wouldn't really matter. We were getting there late anyways.
Well, I think I offered to do it. I was like, I'll do the second half, and then you just kind of started driving again.
No, you said, I'll do the second half if we stop again.
Oh.
And we didn't stop again. You also, didn't talk to me the whole time.
Oh, okay.
You were just on your phone pretty much the whole time, and I know you were doing Maley Way stuff.
This was going to be my I love you, but I did something different. But
okay, save it for next week.
Yeah, save it for next week.
You
didn't talk to me.
You were on your phone the whole time, not trying to engage with me at all.
That is a bit of an exaggeration that I was on my phone the whole time. There was like a 30-minute segment at the beginning where I was on my phone.
I think you are delusional. I think you're absolutely delusional. I would say maybe out of the 8 hours, there was maybe 2 hours when you weren't on your phone.
Okay, now we're speaking of delusional.
You were doing videos.
You think I was on my phone for 6 hours?
I do.
No.
I should have set
way.
a recording.
Okay.
I should have. Besides your great lesson, which I was going to talk about in a little bit, I think you were on your phone pretty much the whole time. And then on the way home,
I did drive.
You did drive. You drove 2 hours. So I still drove 6 hours.
But you are.
But better than
Of course,
none.
you're an excellent driver. Do you know what that's from?
Yes, Rain Man.
Oh my God, I was shocked.
I've seen that movie before.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen that movie before.
You're an excellent driver.
I am an excellent driver.
Kmart sucks.
Is that from Rain Man?
Yes.
Oh. I don't remember that line from it. But yeah, you not only didn't drive, but you just were spending too much time on your phone. And I don't think you were like on Twitter or you were texting with people a little bit. You were texting with Pass. You were probably texting with your Conan friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it you were making content.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of the time.
Okay, I was. I'm going to save it.
Period.
I'm going to save this one for later about that. About the phone
next
thing.
time we're in the car, I'm going to have a stopwatch and I'm going to time you.
I just wish you wouldn't try to make me feel bad.
Well, 8 hours of driving is bad enough, let alone 8 hours of driving in silence.
When I am trying to do something.
I am incredibly supportive and love the Maley Way.
If I had a little bit of help in that regard.
Well, help, I drove you 8 straight hours. I was your chauffeur.
Exactly. So you did a great job and a great service. You should allow me to do my thing without
All right, this will be a battle we'll never win. We'll never see eye to eye on this battle. Let's just move on.
Okay. I should drive more. I agree with that.
Or talk.
The phone
or
thing.
Speak.
The phone. No.
No speaking. Okay, no speaking.
No.
No talking. Got it.
No.
Noted.
The 6 hours thing is absurd.
We can ask the kids.
Okay. They have no idea. They were watching a movie the whole time.
That is true.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want you. No, I think this is good. This is good. We kind of talked about it, but like Patty, and like today. So Patty today was like, "Can you give me some water?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll get you some water." And he was like, "Okay, put ice in it." And I'm like, "You don't need ice." And I was like, "You don't need ice." And he's like, "No, I need ice." And I was like, "No, you don't need ice." And then Katie kind of undermines me, and she's like, "Just get him some ice." And
the ice is free. It comes out of our freezer. What's the big deal if the kid wants cold water?
Well, because you don't need it. He doesn't need ice. It's like a luxury.
Ice is not a luxury.
Yeah. Do you know how lucky we are to have some ice?
Well, I understand that we are lucky to have clean water, indoor plumbing, but ice, I mean, we have a freezer full of it.
I know, but the thing about it is, I was trying to like teach him something.
But why can't the kid have ice?
You came over the top and went against me.
Okay, I get that sometimes I undermine you, and I try not to do that. This is a great example of me not undermining you. And then we'll go back to the ice. You didn't do a great job navigating in the car, and we went the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And then we had to do a big U-turn on the highway. We went to 74 East as opposed to 74 West. And because you were...
I felt your frustration. No, it had nothing to do with me being on my phone, but go ahead.
Okay. So you weren't paying attention, and we went the wrong way. And they were like, "What are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we now arriving home 25 minutes later than we were supposed to?" And I, in my head, was going to say, "Because your dad didn't give me the right directions." And did I say that?
No, but I felt it.
No, well, it doesn't matter if you felt it. I said to our children out loud, I did not undermine you or throw you under the bus. All I said was, we made a wrong turn. We're getting back on the highway.
Okay.
Complaining isn't going to change it. We're now arriving home 25 minutes later.
Okay, well, that doesn't have it.
That doesn't really have anything to do with undermining.
Would you want a cookie?
No. Well, do you have a cookie? I'll take a cookie. No, it just was an example.
I think you said a trophy to me when I would say something like, "Oh, do you want a trophy?"
Yeah, I'm just saying, in the past, you've been talking about me not blaming you. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Blame. with the undermining. But like, I can't get aboard the no ice for our child. I get things that like, it can be a basic, like if he says he wants water and then he says, give it to me in a Paw Patrol cup, I can see you saying like, I'm just going to use whatever cup is clean in the pantry. I'm not going to find a specific cup for you. I get that. But I just don't understand why our son can't have ice.
Well, because he like demands things all the time. And it was
he
like,
said it in a demanding way.
yes, he did. He's like, I want ice. And I'm just like,
well,
no.
Then you should have said, okay, go get yourself ice, Patty.
That's what I said at first. I was like, you can get it. I was like, I'm getting you water. And he was like, I want ice though. I don't think, first of all, I don't think anyone really needs ice unless
I don't like ice water.
Right, I know you don't. You need ice when it's like super hot out and you need to keep a water bottle cold. But you don't necessarily need ice to drink water in a household when it's really not that hot in your house.
Yeah, but some people just like cold water.
Especially, I just don't want a high maintenance kid. I don't want to create a high maintenance kid. And I think the fact that...
I think asking for ice isn't high maintenance. I think if you said, I want the blue water bottle with, Paw Patrol on it now, that'd be high maintenance. Can't quite get on board with you, but...
But it kind of reminds me of the ice packs. Like when a kid falls down and like, we go and get them an ice pack. I'm like, they don't need an ice pack. They're fine. Let them get up. They're fine. They don't need ice packs. I never once used an ice pack in my life.
Well, but ice does help an injury.
Yeah, but or an injury, but we get it for them, like if they just like fall and they're fine.
I don't really get how this deals with ice in a cup, but okay.
You got a little frustrated today.
I'm not.
You are. I'm sorry. This is gonna be our first like angry one, I guess.
Angry pod.
Yeah, angry pod. We had the flu pod. Now we got the angry pod. Okay.
All right. Well, I will try not to give our children ice anymore.
Okay.
Or when they ask for it, I will tell them, if you want ice, you can go to the freezer and get ice on your own.
Well, I guess the point is, I just don't want to create kids who like need to have fancy clothes or fancy cars or fancy anything.
I don't think ice is a gateway drug to them.
I know ice is not.
I get what you mean.
But I'm
kind of starting to understand. I still don't get the ice, but I'm understanding about how you don't want to have high maintenance kids who are demanding and expecting that we get them things, or something as simple as a glass of water has to be a
ice cold water.
Chilled LaCroix poured over ice perfectly 3/4 of the way up the glass.
Correct.
Okay.
So you've come around.
I haven't come around.
It's a full circle moment.
I'm not sure what's happening. The kid was just thirsty. Mr. Hydration himself over here.
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Just value the water.
Yeah, okay. All right, so back to spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to DePaul, my alma mater in Greencastle, Indiana.
Alma or Alma? Alma or Alma?
Alma.
Alma mater.
My alma mater.
Alma mater.
Alma mater. So we went to DePaul first because my friends Stacy and Caitlin
with a W.
DePaul. W winners. They were working all day and their kids were in school. It's not their spring break. So we started a detour through DePaul. Our kids have not been there.
Yeah.
And I think I really was excited to show them. And we get there and I'm like, oh, it looks a little quiet on campus. So this is my parenting fail, which I'll say now as opposed to later on in the show. It was spring break. So everything was locked and closed. So our grandiose tour of DePaul.
It was a ghost town.
It was a ghost town, which it was already a bleak
The only
day.
people that were there were the exchange students and athletes.
And the athletes.
Yeah.
So it was already a bleak day. And then there was none of that big community, that vibrant community of DePaul on the campus. So that was a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
No students.
No.
Now we saw a few, so I wanted to take them to my freshman dorm where I lived on the same floor as Stacy, and that's where she went to school with Caitlin, how we became friends. They went to school together at Tate's Creek in Lexington, and we had a lot of good times in our freshman dorm. I wanted to take them to WGRE where I started with my radio show with my friend Carrie. Locked.
I will say, so I posted that thing, and some kid who is the WGRE manager commented and said, "Oh man, next time you're in, just contact me. I'll show you around."
Oh,
Yes.
I would have loved it. I mean, the kids were under the impression that they were going to be able to like go into the radio studio.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
And
sure they
see
probably
where it
would have
was.
if people were there.
If someone was there, yeah. So we did follow, we asked a student, we kind of creepily followed him and asked him to get us into the hub, the student union.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bookstore was closed. And they really wanted some DePaul gear.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because it was beautiful when I went there from 2002 to 2006. And now it's really beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. All the buildings are the same matching red brick. There was a new huge dining hall that was made that we did go into that was open. And we walked in and it was so funny because the very first thing you see is the menu and then it's all now farm to table.
Yeah.
Like their cafeteria is now all farm to table. So it was like, these greens are from, Maley Farm in Terre Haute, Indiana today. And it was pretty cool. And I do remember there was a girl in my sorority, Bess Evans, the year below me, and she was really big. And I don't even think I knew what farm to table was in 2005. And she was like pushing hard for DePaul to become farm to table and get away from like the greasy, gross dorm food, which I always liked their dorm food. We know you were a big dorm food guy.
Love the dorm food.
Or not dorm food, the cafeteria food.
Yeah, cafeteria food.
But a lot of the dorms were in the cafeterias. A lot of the cafeterias were in the dorms.
Okay.
Anyways, you knew what I was saying.
I gotcha. Alma mater.
Alma mater. At my alma mater. So I was like, wow, this place, I mean, it was nice and kind of bougie when I was there. And I was like, wow, now this is really nice. Like you're eating farm to table chickens and greens and eggs. And it was awesome. So we did go back for lunch to this place called Marvin's, which was really the only restaurant at DePaul.
Marvin's delivers to the Maley Way podcast.
Ooh, we should have a sign. So their famous thing is, it always says Marvin's delivers to, and like people would hold up essentially bed sheets back in the day and have it written like Marvin's delivers to the pyramids in Egypt, and it'd be a group of students from DePaul on camels carrying this huge sign. Or the one right by the table we were sitting was Marv's delivers in the ocean to Cozumel. It was all these kids in snorkeling gear and they were holding it underwater. So it was like the big thing in college, the Marv's delivers.
Yeah.
And I worked there in college.
And got the boots.
And I got fired after 2 weeks. Stacy and I, one of my friends who I was going to visit, we worked there because we needed money because we were going on a cruise senior year. And I think our parents were either paying for the cruise and we had to pay for our plane tickets or vice versa. So they go, we got to get a job. So we worked at Marv's, and then I got fired for talking too much.
You made short orders long. Yeah,
just like a short story long. I mean, I was schmoozing all the people. People were buying extra cheese fries, extra beers because of me.
They should be paying you more.
They should be paying me more. That was my first and only experience with the restaurant industry.
Should we have protested and not gone?
No, I spent so much time there, all that late night food. But it was sad, actually. The two women who worked there when I was there were still working there. And I said to the woman A, I was like, did you work here back in 2006? Because you look really familiar, and I think you did when I worked here. And she said, oh, yeah, I did. And they were saying that kids don't eat I mean, it was the only place when we went there. Mm-hmm. There was no DoorDash. There was no Uber Eats. You had to go to Marv's. You had to wait in line out the door. They were open till 2 a.m. It was the best of times were happening there on the weekends. And she was like, now everyone just, Uber Eats and DoorDashes, and now there's like brunch places in Greencastle and a brewery and like a little wine cafe, and nothing existed when I was there.
Yeah,
when you would come visit.
It was one of the greatest times that you could have. Like it was. Yeah. I probably visited 10 times maybe.
Yeah. Maybe
because
more.
It was when I was at Northwestern, I visited a little bit more, but when I went to Holy Cross, I pretty much go there for every break.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a great place to be.
Super fun.
Super fun. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed being there.
Yes.
And it was cool. It was like, I always think of like nostalgia. Like, obviously you don't want to live in the past, but it is nice to be able to go somewhere and like think about different things.
Yeah, and tell your kids the fun stories. Now, the one place that was open I was a member of Kappa Kappa Gamma, and I guess the majority of the girls on the softball team and the volleyball team are all Kappas this year. So the softball team was there because they were on a trip to Florida. So our kids did ring the doorbell and they couldn't believe that I lived in this, massive 3-story mansion that holds 80 girls. And the house mom was there and she was very kind and awesome and let us in. And the kids really took over and really loved being in the Kappa house.
But at first they were like running around that really nice room with like glass.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I could just see them breaking all of this.
And none of that was like that when I was there. She said some interior designer from the South who was a Kappa came back and was like, I'll just redesign the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it is beautiful. I thought it was nice when I was there, and now it's really, really, really nice. But I showed them my old rooms. They saw the laundry room, which they thought was hilarious, in the basement. I was telling the house mom how I used to get in trouble for sneaking Jim in, and then I would get reprimanded for having a boy in the sorority house. And she was like, don't tell me these kind of things.
What were you going to get like, what would happen? What was the thing that when you got in trouble, it was called like a board? Not a board. Remember you got, I know you got in trouble multiple times.
God, what was that called? I don't remember.
Standards.
Oh yeah, I got brought to the standards committee and I basically confessed my crime. And then I got a punishment, and the worst punishment, you'd have to clean the side kitchen. So it's like you have the full dining room and full kitchen where the cooks work and stuff. And then there was a side kitchen though that would be open all night. So when you would come back late night, it would be like leftover food. There was always cereal, pretzels, chips, those kind of things. And people were drunk and gross and there'd be a mess. And your punishment would be the next morning. Like you'd have like Saturday morning cleanup. And you'd have to go into the side kitchen and like clean up all the crushed pretzels, clean up all the spilled beers, like, or whatever people brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was bad.
Yeah. I could see them, nothing against the paw, but just how I could see them not being able to do that anymore. Like it being like some form of like hazing or something. I
think a lot. So when I went there, it was...
She mentioned something like that. Did you hear her?
No.
It was about waking people up. Like she was like, that would be considered hazing. Like we wouldn't be able to do it anymore. We're like,
So I was telling the kids the cold dorm, which was wild. I never slept in the cold dorm, but it was a huge room with like probably 20 bunk beds side to side. So 40 girls would be in there, windows wide open at all times, absolutely freezing, and there's no lights.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before really there were cell phones with alarm clocks. You'd have to have an alarm clock. Oh, do you need to do your low battery? Oh no, it's 20%. You'd have to have an alarm clock. So one of your duties, this was not a punishment, but someone would have to be on wake up duty. So you would have your little name tag and it would say, Jim needs to be waking up at 7 a.m. Katie needs to be waking up at 7:20. And you would have to go and you'd have to be like, Jim, time to wake up. Gotta go to class. You have a class this morning.
But would it be like the younger person had to do that?
No, I think it just was like a rotating thing.
Okay.
Because you couldn't have an alarm clock going on because there's 40 girls sleeping in there. So if an alarm clock went off.
I know what happens when alarm clocks go on with you.
So it was just cool. The kids were like, this is awesome. Like they were running through the cold dorm. And yeah, so I was very grateful that Kappa was open. I had the best of times at DePaul in the sorority house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really great. I talked to an old professor, and he kind of was telling me about how the times have changed, but I think the kids had a really good time, and it was really cool to be back. We did see one tour. There were a couple tours going around,
mm-hmm.
and I was thinking about when I went on a college tour. I actually was tagging along with Laura when she was doing some tours, my sister, but we went to like Valparaiso and it was pouring rain. And then we went to Butler and it was just like a gross, bleak day,
mm-hmm.
kind of like how it was at DePaul. And I just kind of didn't like the campuses. I was like, meh, it's a gross day. Like you get a yuck in your mouth. You got a bad taste in your mouth.
Because of the bad
Because of the weather.
Yeah.
And so this group was coming out and there's no one on campus. It's a ghost town. And it's all gross and yucky and like kind of raining. And I just said as the tour guide was holding open the door, I was like, I went to DePaul. It's amazing. You should all go here. It's so much fun. And then the one guy said, I graduated here too in 2015. I was like, wow, you are much younger than me, but go Tigers. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was super fun. So then we went on to Kentucky
Yeah.
And it was just so wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We had an awesome time in Lexington.
yeah, we went to visit Stacy and Chad and Caitlin, they were Katie's friends at DePaul, who have kind of become my friends. And
Kind of.
no, I mean like they were
I'm just
always like.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You guys have been friends since 2002.
Yeah, I mean Stacy, I think even came when we played at Indiana, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
were talking about that.
And I will remember, this is one of my favorite moments of playing college basketball, was there was a ball going out of bounds and I went to save it. Do you remember this?
I remember.
I jumped over the bench and landed like right in front of you two.
Stacy and I were in the front row.
Didn't say hi.
He looked through us.
Yeah.
He didn't look at us. He didn't give us like a little smile, a little wink to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He literally just stared at us and then ran back on the court.
Well, first of all, I think we were getting killed at the time, but
I don't know. I don't remember the score.
not that it would have. It could have been. It wouldn't have
mattered.
We could have been killing them, and I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you did not. You were not giving us. We both were laughing about it. We were like, he didn't even say hi.
Yeah.
Or didn't even look at us.
Yeah, but it was just. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you just.
No, I was gonna say
in front of our faces.
Yeah, it was fun being with all them and like talking about different things. And again, I think it's good to be able to do that. And it kind of stinks for both of us is that we don't necessarily get to see our college friends that much. So it was nice to be able to do that. And yeah, you're probably reliving a lot of stupid, pointless things
that were the best,
but they were awesome at the time. And it was like a simpler time when you didn't have a whole lot of responsibilities. And but like even as we've gotten responsibilities, we've still had like great memories over the years.
And it was cool that all of our kids were there. So we've seen Stacy and Chad's kids, Emmy and Sam, have been here a couple times, but the last time we saw Caitlin's kids, Lily and Wes, they were little, like toddlers.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome how all 8 kids just played so well all weekend. Like kids, I mean, they acclimated really well to hanging out with people they don't really know that well.
Yeah. And it's like, I could probably get the city of Lexington to sponsor this podcast after what I'm going to say, but like,
it was great.
I love that area. Like,
it was
I
awesome.
think that area is awesome. It's super nice. The people there are very nice. Even like thinking about like when we were at that baseball event for Sam, and like Jimmy's just going up and like getting in pickup games with kids that he has no idea who they are, and like all these kids are like, yeah, come and play.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and plays. Like people were just really nice there. It kind of reminded me of like that Iowa nice that we've talked about.
Oh yeah.
But it's like beautiful there too.
So beautiful.
Not that I ever really like noticed that, but I did there. Like it's really nice.
It's truly like rolling greens with all the horse farms and all of that.
Yeah, like I was
really nice.
I was thinking of like, if I would never move here, but if I had to move somewhere and like raise a family, that would be a pretty cool place.
Yeah, and we were saying we were jealous because their outdoor sports, their spring sports, like start in February because it's nice.
And it's not that far. It's not that far south.
No, but I was like, I'm jealous of that because then once school is out, they're just summer. Like there's no soccer or there's no t-ball going into summer. Like everything is done by Memorial Day weekend, which would be nice. Like some of our stuff goes way too deep into the summer.
Yeah.
That's like a spring sport, like AYSO soccer or, t-ball or whatever. Like it just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah. That's why we got our UK gear.
Oh yeah, so the DePaul bookstore was closed. We got our Kentucky Wildcats. We went to that bookstore. Spent a ton of
money.
Much money. So I was super annoyed. So this t-shirt was $40. Which I was like, what's happening in this day and age that we're paying $40 for a t-shirt? But then I did put it on. I didn't even notice there's a pretty nice back to it. I didn't even notice can you see it?
Yeah,
the Wildcat, University of Kentucky. So I guess it's more than just a shirt that says Wildcats UK. And it is a Nike shirt, but it's not a dry fit. It's just a shirt.
Well, you paid for it, so
I
they might as well charge
me. So they may as well charge me for it. But yeah, it was really, I was very impressed. We were joking around saying that, our kids playing with them all weekend and they had such a fun time. I was like, is a 41-year-old like, I would not want to hang out with randos. Like, I would not want to
Oh,
be...
you mean like
Like,
they
the way
were
our kids were hanging out with... They're not random because we talk about them all the time, but they haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
And just to be like, okay, we're going to their house and we're staying there for 3 days and you're just going to spend all your time with them. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
How well they got along. We're like, I would not want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think you would. You are the type of person who could do that. I am not the type of person that could do
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to hang out with like a complete... I guess they're not randos because we have seen them. But I'm just saying the way kids are awesome. The way that they can just play with each other was more of my point.
Yeah.
That they were able just to hop right in. Obviously, no time skipped a beat with me and Stacy and Caitlin and Chad. It was nice because we were friends with Chad before he and Stacy started dating. So that was always kind of fun that like we were friends first before they fell in love. So we have a lot of good times.
Love, yeah.
Before they fell in love. So yeah, it was a great weekend in Kentucky. We can't wait to go back. Can't wait to have them all here.
The car ride, I know I didn't drive, but the car ride was not...
It wasn't horrible.
I mean, we stopped a bunch.
Way too many bathroom breaks.
The bathroom breaks. And there was a lot more asking how much longer.
Oh my God, I was like, get a watch, people. Look at the clock.
Yeah.
Stop asking.
And it kind of... It brought up this point. I think I did like a post about it. Like, obviously, having the TV in the car is awesome.
Yes.
But like, was there something about like the boredom of a car ride and having to figure out things to do? That
yeah, I mean, we never drove growing up. We didn't do 8-hour car rides.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to New Jersey once.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't. I mean, Wisconsin would pretty much be as far as we would go. I will say that we did watch a lot of movies, but we did play car bingo.
Yeah.
And those bingo cards. We tried to play the ABC game.
Yeah.
And that just didn't really work. We normally play Password.
Yes, we did not
play Password. Play Password.
I did my...
Jim did a nice little lesson. As a teacher, he just couldn't get away from school.
Yeah, so I did.
He had to do a lesson. With his love, his real love, ChatGPT.
No, we had been talking about AI and how we have to kind of embrace it in a way. And we were at like a meeting about it. And I think AI is great for people who like know how to learn. I think it's great as like a tool, but I don't necessarily think it's great for like kids who are just like, there is no struggle. But like this guy who was in the meeting was like, hey, I use this with my kids. I put in like a super prompt into AI and like I teach them a lesson. Like, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. So Katie was kind of like rolling her eyes at me, but the kids loved it. Like we were doing...
I then got into it. You were yelling at me for shouting without raising my hand.
Yeah, so anyways, I was just like, hey, give me I'd be like, what do you guys want to know about? And they'd be like, tornadoes. And like, I'd do it. And then I'd be like, okay, let's do that. And then I started like comparing it to, I'd be like, all right, let's talk about tornadoes by comparing it to Michael Jordan, or I think I even said like a fart at one point.
Yeah,
that's
no,
what they
it was
said.
like, what do farts and Michael Jordan have in common, or something like that.
And I was like, give me a word for word lesson, and like I was like presenting it with like a little like gusto.
You were making us repeat things like Earth, universe, Milky Way, solar system. Say it again, Earth.
Yes, but I will say like that
they were super into it.
They were into it, and like I will say they were able to like remember things. I don't know if you noticed that, like when I was like, so what are the things? And like, they were just rattling them off. And I'm like, I don't think I would have remembered that.
No. Well, maybe when we were little. I always feel like they're so good. As I got whooped again today in memory by Andy and Patty, they got nothing up there.
Yeah.
Our brains are way too packed with things to remember.
Yeah.
I know I said the order wrong. It is not Earth, universe, Milky Way,
whatever it is.
The order's wrong. I'm sure they remember what the order is.
But yeah, it was just kind of cool. It was an easy. It passed maybe the last 45 minutes of time, and like, I thought they were actually learning something, and I think, I do have a lot of like resistance to that, but I think if you can do different things like that, I think it could be very beneficial to you. Like I was learning, so what I was teaching, I had no idea what I was talking about.
No, I knew nothing about what you did a Wisconsin lesson?
Yeah.
You did it on the Earth or the Milky Way or the universe, something like that.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, tornadoes,
Farts.
bald guys, and farts.
Yeah.
That's how the Michael Jordan got in there.
Oh yeah, that was how
it was how are farts and bald guys the same?
Yeah. Meg asked that question, so I was like, let's do it. And then it came up with like a pretty brilliant lesson.
Yeah, I mean, some of it was a little far-fetched on how they were. We don't need to go over it, but
it was fun.
It was fun. It was very, very fun, and they were into it. And it was a nice little break because really, I mean, if you're not watching the movie, and there were tons of snacks consumed.
Yeah.
Tons of breaks.
Yeah.
Tons of questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was overall, we had no problems with the drive, knock on wood. I was like, we are going to Cape Cod this summer. This drive is going to be double of what.
Yeah, I know.
So enough with the questions on the timing.
Yes.
You asking is not going to make us get there any faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was an awesome spring break, and now we're here just chilling, me and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did some bowling today.
Nice.
Gonna go see the new Mario movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yesterday was beautiful. Monday was nice. It was like...
Today started off pretty nice, and then it got really bad.
It was sunny. We were outside all day on Monday. Did some bike riding, did some fishing.
Mm-hmm.
In honor of my dad's birthday, we went fishing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great day. So far, the spring break 2K26 has been off the charts.
Yes, exactly.
Off the charts. Wish we could have spent a whole week in Kentucky. I could spend a whole week with Stacy and Caitlin and Chad and their families. It was really just filled my cup, made my soul happy, made me so happy to see them. And their parents, like, it was so nice to see their moms and dads.
Mental health guy, that's a good self-care moment.
It's a good self-care moment to see the people you love. Now, I do wish that we lived closer to them.
Mm-hmm.
But we said, we were saying about, we could definitely use we were reminiscing about how we went to Vegas, San Diego, and we were like, oh yeah, we could definitely use an adult-only trip.
For sure.
But loved their kids. Could spend out. I mean, we did. That's all we did was play with the kids all day.
Yeah, they were great.
And they were awesome. And I love seeing the perfect blends of my friends and their children.
Yes.
That also makes me really happy seeing like, oh, they definitely get that from Stacy, or he looks just like Chad when he makes that face, or Caitlin's kids are her little clones. It just was awesome to see them growing up.
Yeah.
Awesome to see them growing up.
Well, I think you did your parenting fail.
Yeah, so DePaul was closed.
I'm going to do my parenting fail. And this is this is more up your alley normally.
Oh, okay.
So Jimmy, I don't even know what he was talking about, but it was in the car. I was probably on my 8-hour phone binge. And
probably.
He was badgering me over and over. I don't know if you remember this. He was badgering me over and over again about something. I don't even know what it was. But like I took like an exaggerated deep breath, like clearly losing my patience, and I was like, just hold on. And Jimmy was like, oh, I'm really sorry, Dad. And like I could tell like he was like actually sad and like felt really bad. And I was like, oh God. Like I felt really bad because
you were getting some mom guilt.
Yeah, dad guilt.
Dad guilt.
And
your first bout of dad guilt.
I don't feel really bad about a lot of things, but it's like that was not that big of a deal. Like,
and he took it really personally.
And he took it hard, and I was just like, I should have maybe reacted a little bit differently. And like it was like I was trying to like explain that to him, like, okay, it's not a big deal.
Not that big of a deal.
Don't worry about it. But like he was like very sad. And I was just like, oh God, like I don't like when I do something that gets him to that point.
Oh yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah.
Constant mom guilt.
I'm normal.
Constant long. What do you want? And then I do immediately regret it.
And I get why. Why because I see it happen, and I know it. I know when it's gonna happen. And sometimes I like try to pull the kids away before it happens.
But you literally can't control it.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt bad about it. That was my parenting fail.
I mean, he got over it.
He did get over it, but like, yeah.
Let's see. My mom rage was yesterday morning. So I was so tired from Kentucky. Like we drove all day Friday, drove all day Sunday. We're up super late watching the basketball games because, it's Eastern time. So those games are ending at like 11:30 p.m. They were late and we were, all jazzed up because the games were pretty good. And I also was sleeping downstairs and half the kids were upstairs. So I was having a hard time falling asleep knowing that someone was going to wake up, which did happen. And then they didn't know where they were. So I had a horrible night's sleep. So Sunday night we get home. Everyone's exhausted. Basically showered, come right down here to sleep in this room. I had an amazing night's sleep. You said you fell asleep immediately too, upstairs.
Immediately.
And so I woke up and it's like, wow, I just slept 9 straight hours. I feel like $1,000,000. And the kids were perfect all weekend. They were so great. They were great in the car, besides asking how long we're gonna get there. And Andy and Patty were fighting over the matching game, and then they were fighting over because one of them spilled the cereal and they said the other person's elbow knocked the bowl, and they just it was only 6:45 and they were bickering, and I was like, did you know there are all-day camps for spring break? And I was like, and some parents have chosen to send their kids to all-day camps of spring break. And I was like, I will not be able to spend 5 days of your behavior like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to send you away to bad kid camp.
I was like, do you want to go to an all-day camp? Would that be better? I'm like, you just were amazing all weekend. There was no bickering, no fighting. They were great. And I was like, why is this happening? And why is it happening at 6:45 a.m.? I just had an amazing night's sleep.
Yeah.
And you're ruining it.
And it's kind of annoying for those two. They were always and they still are best buds. They were always little best buds, but now they're bickering and fighting.
Over the stupidest stuff. It has to do a lot with this memory matching game that they both love so much. But then they want to trade. I want to trade whatever, Staley the Bear for Sourdough Sam and the San Francisco 49ers. They just, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what I do like that they're doing now is because they've always loved wrestling, but WWE wrestling. But now they saw it on TV and they're like, let's do college wrestling.
Oh,
and
yeah. My athletic director said, I heard your Maley. I heard your kids are getting into wrestling. And I was like, oh my God, they do love it. Real wrestling.
Yeah, you hold their shoulder, it only has to be down one bit. And I'm like, if you reverse the guy, and they're like, how many points do you get, Dad? I was like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
But they were they were watching wrestling and copying the
trying
moves.
to do it. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just early in the morning when they're hungry and they just woke up and everyone's all ornery and it's just, it drives me nuts. So that was my mom rage. I didn't send them to camp. We had a great rest of the day outside.
Bad kid camp.
No, we had a great rest of the day. We had a great day today bowling and having fun with their cousins.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, my life hack. So I just sold some chairs on Facebook on Buy Sell Trade Western Springs, and the woman who operates the Buy Sell Trade Western Springs, she is the mom of 3 students who I taught at Field Park. So I sold these chairs to her and I was chit-chatting with her, and her kids are all in high school now. And I was like, oh, what are you guys doing? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I used to be in charge of that kid list, which is a site either, you can go online or it's on Instagram or whatever, and it tells you these are the top 10 parks to go to, or a new park is opening, or these are, the 10 best places that have a splash pad, things like that. And she was like, I don't know, we didn't go anywhere, and I wanted to do something with the boys. And she was like, so I think we're gonna do a top 5 burger challenge. I'm gonna get burgers from different places, and the boys are gonna have blindfolds on and to taste the burgers and kind of judge them. And I was like, yeah, that's really fun. For example, we went to these amazing parks in Lexington. That park we went to at University of Kentucky by Rupp Arena was awesome.
I liked it because it had a little element of danger to it.
A lot of danger. There was a lot of danger factors. If anyone, we were there for almost 3 hours, and I was like, adults are the ones who are getting injured here. Adults were trying to do the kid things, and they were the ones faltering. But looking at a kid list, you don't have to go to downtown Chicago to the museums and all that, which are amazing and I love to do. But I know you don't. Mm-hmm. But there are so many things right here. Just look online. There's definitely a park that's awesome that you haven't been to. We went fishing, mm-hmm. and Yana had a great place. We went with the Yanas and we went there. It's there's so many things right here. Someone did the research. This woman Liz did the research. So just use it. Use that info. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. What we're watching, I wanted to say.
We're still watching the NCAA tournament.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I feel like that moment in history, like I remember where I was when Christian Leitner hit his shot to beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Stacy brought it up. She said she's still holding that grudge. When was that? 1990?
1992. So I was 8 years old.
She said she's still holding that grudge.
But I feel like that moment is something I'm going to always remember. So we were driving home from Kentucky, and the Duke UConn game was going on.
Oh yeah.
And UConn was getting rolled, and they were like slowly chipping away. And unfortunately, this was one of my driving moments. So Katie has the game. I'm just able to listen to it, but it's kind of hard to like.
So we have the YouTube TV propped up on our phone. So Jimmy and Andy wanted to watch it. So it's like propped up on the seat. And then I'm holding Jim's phone here watching it. So we have two YouTube TVs going on.
Yeah.
He can't see the visual. He can only hear the audio.
So anyways, it's like 2 minutes ago, and UConn is like mounted this comeback, and like we had stopped to go to the bathroom, and we're like, all right, we gotta pull over and watch this in the McDonald's parking lot. I feel like that's a moment. We were somewhere in Indiana, I don't know where we were, and we were watching those final seconds.
My arm was shaking because I had to hold it up for those final seconds, which actually take minutes, so I had to a nice 2-minute long arm workout. All the kids are like screaming watching this game.
But the final play,
oh my God, unbelievable.
When the ball was stolen, I was like, that is going in. Like you just knew, you had the feeling that was going in, and the kid made it. And it made me think about my buddy Mikey Dyer, who I have his little thing right here.
Mm-hmm, the big mix.
Mikey Dyer was the biggest UConn fan.
Absolutely, Huskies for life.
He grew up in Connecticut, but he went to Holy Cross. He went to UConn Law School, but like at the time, and he was kind of like annoying about it. It like annoyed me. So I started like rooting. This is how I was. Like I started rooting against UConn, and like it became this thing where I would like root vehemently against them. And I thought about like after he died, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start rooting for UConn. But then I was like, no, like he would have hated that. He loved that I rooted against him.
He loved that you did it on purpose.
Like, and then I started doing, at some point, I started rooting for them. Like, this was back in college. I would root for them to jinx them, and that would, like, set them off. He'd be like, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And, like, I put, like, a sign on my wall that said, like, home of the Huskies. Going into my room, and he was like, no, you cannot do that. And it didn't work because they won the national championship that year.
So your reverse jinx didn't work.
Yeah, and then the other day I was like writing a post, and I was like, I'm not going to write that because I don't want to jinx Duke. I want them to win. And I didn't do it. And then like they came back, and I was just thinking, I said like Mikey was doing like the Irish jig in heaven, watching that moment. Yeah.
That was pretty cool, and I do think the no reverse jinx maybe had a little something to do with that. That was an awesome shot. I'm very happy we pulled over to watch that, and it was great.
Did you see the clip of Bobby Hurley's mom?
Yes.
What she said?
They were showing.
Holy bleeping bleep.
Yeah. They were showing.
Or not Danny Hurley and Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, they were showing both on SportsCenter this morning. They had both coaches' wives.
Yeah.
They had like them side by side for their reactions, and the families. They all were sitting together during those final seconds. It was funny seeing the reactions of both.
Yeah, but I'm thinking his mom, the coach's mom.
Oh yeah, Dan Hurley's mom.
Yeah, when she's like,
they had all the families. Yeah.
That was great.
That was really funny. Rewatching it this morning, I had chills watching it this morning.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
It was so great. So yeah, we've been watching that and up too late, but everyone's brackets are busted. So now Patty's in good company. Mm-hmm. Jimmy and Andy both ripped up their. Jimmy was trying to put us in the paper shredder.
Well, then he asked for matches. He wanted to light up. I was like, whoa, we're not lighting your bracket.
I'm glad you stopped that. I wasn't there for that.
But then I thought about the Germans and how they teach their kids to play with matches at a young age.
I was like,
should I allow him to do this? But then I thought, nah, Katie won't like that.
Nah. Yeah. Good call. But yeah, so that's another great spring break in the books. I was thinking if we ever do have the same spring break, though, it would be nice to go somewhere. We haven't had the same spring break in a long time.
No. No.
I don't know when that's going to happen again.
Now, here's what I'll say. I don't know why this would apply to spring break. I do have a what happened this day in history moment.
Ooh.
Now, there wasn't a whole lot that happened.
On March 31st. Not
a lot of action.
Okay.
But the United States did acquire this
God.
from Russia. Do you know what it was on this day?
Is it a country? Don't humiliate me.
I don't think
Make me try to.
We did not acquire a country. No.
Okay, I can't think of what else we would get from Russia besides some land of theirs.
Yes. Close. You getting there? What would be one of the last acquired states? Close to Russia.
Alaska?
Yes.
We acquired Alaska from Russia. You're lucky I almost just said Puerto Rico.
I thought you were going to say Hawaii.
No.
Yeah, so that's what happened. This day in history, it was like
March 31st.
Yeah.
They just wanted to give up some of that land. Why did they own part of Canada?
Well, like Russia's not that far from Alaska.
No, I know, but they didn't own, or did they own huge parts of Canada as well?
I
The
don't know.
Russians?
I don't know if it was Canada.
Oh,
Like, that was part of Russian.
1930.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, okay. Yes, that.
I'm not sure on that.
I am not a history buff. Do
Not-
not ask me any questions about history. I will get them all
History
wrong.
or geography is not.
Not
She's
my
a smart
forte.
person, not in that area.
mean, I'm lucky I didn't just answer Puerto Rico. I got it right. I took a moment to, take a good think before I spoke out loud.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, I have a good would you rather too. I really like this one.
Okay, and this is from Anthony. He's back.
No, this is not.
Oh
I
my
came
God,
up with this
Anthony,
one.
What are you doing?
I came up with this one.
Okay.
Would you rather
Okay.
speak only in movie quotes? You can only speak in movie quotes or song lyrics.
Song lyrics, probably.
Song lyrics.
I feel like I know more song lyrics than I do movie quotes.
Yeah, I would say you're definitely more songy, if that's a word.
It's not, but I like it. Thank you for the compliment.
I am more movie-y.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I do speak in movie quotes. But
I
I'm saying
do a lot of movie quotes.
I'm saying like that's all you could speak in. So you would have to come up with different things like hello.
Lyrics.
How would you say hello to someone in a song lyric?
I would do the song that you always sing. Hello, bonjour, buenos dias, good day, guten tag, konnichiwa.
So you would have to sing that.
Just when you walk in the door, I gotta sing that. Okay.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to sing it. You just have to say the words.
Oh, I'd sing it.
Okay.
I'd probably add a little choreography too.
Yeah, so I was thinking like I could be like, "What's up, Doc?" Like Bugs
Oh,
Bunny.
yeah.
Or goodbye. How could you say that?
So long.
I knew you were
Farewell.
Peter.
Adieu.
Yes.
To you and you and you.
Where I was like the Terminator. I'll be back. That's just how I would say
Yeah,
goodbye.
I would not.
I wouldn't say
would
goodbye.
not
I would
be
just
good
say
at
that.
I would become very less loquacious.
What about hungry? I'm hungry. I know how I would say it.
I would probably have to say something from like Oliver Twist or something like, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" Something like that.
Is that a song?
Well, it starts a song in
Oh,
Oliver,
okay.
or it's part of Oliver.
I'd be like, Mom,
Meatloaf.
meatloaf.
No.
Argument? Like you want to stop an argument?
Um,
I would say Jack Nicholson. Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth to end an argument.
I don't know what I would do for an argument. I'd have to think about that. I'm thinking like in my head, do I go like an Eminem rap?
Yeah.
I could do that.
You could do that. Like from 8 Mile.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably not lyrical appropriateness for the Maley Way podcast.
Frustration. I was thinking I would do from Happy Gilmore when Chubbs is trying to get him to putt. And he's just like, give it a little tappy, tap, tap,
Tappy.
Like whenever I was frustrated, I would just say that.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not good at song lyrics, but I can't think of any off the top of my head about frustration.
Yeah.
But maybe I didn't really.
Maybe like an Avril. Yeah, you didn't have
I
time
didn't
to
have time
prep.
to prep for this.
Avril
Why
Lavigne.
you gotta go and make things so complicated?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I feel like this.
All right, another one I thought of. This is one that one of my favorite quotes of all time. when things are in doubt
Mhm.
and someone needs to step up, what would be my quote? From the movie, the greatest sports movie of all time, Hoosiers.
Oh, give me the ball.
Kind of.
I can.
You just
make
said,
it.
I'll make it.
I'll make it.
When they're
Yeah.
deciding they're trying to
I
use
do
him as a
remember that.
decoy,
Yeah.
and he's
I'll
like,
make it.
I'll make it.
Yeah.
Do you have something for that?
God, when it's time to step up, it's gonna be May.
That's the Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to.
But he says like
May.
it's gonna be May.
No, the song is "It's Gonna Be Me." I actually heard him get interviewed about that, and he said whomever it was something weird. Like the producers of that song or that record were something weird, like Finnish or Swedish or something, and they were like, "You have to say it's gonna be May," and he's like, "Well, it's gonna be me," and they're like, "No, you have to say it's gonna be May." He's like, "It was the biggest mistake of my life because now everyone says it's gonna be May."
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Our last one.
Oh God, you really thought
Last
this through.
one,
Okay.
when you want to like brag or gloat. I thought of one from my movie I always quote. I guess I feel like I'd probably say
Good Will Hunting.
alrighty then. I would say that.
Alrighty then. Yeah.
But this is when you want to gloat. I would be from Good Will Hunting.
I got a number. How you like them apples?
Yeah, I just like I got a number. How you like them apples? That's what I would say.
That's a good one.
Do you have anything for that?
I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. No matter who I've been, or I don't even know the lyric.
Yeah, that's
I just want to love you.
Wait, is that what? Who sings that? Is that like? Is that Jay-Z?
Jay-Z, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
hustler, baby. I just want you to know.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Mhm. Yeah,
I like that one.
That was a good one.
I feel like
I can think about a lot of other examples of these.
I could have given you time to prepare. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what we should do next time, where you could prepare some. But I feel
I did okay on the spot.
no, you did pretty good on the spot. But I feel like you could have come up with better ones.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got like I feel like I know every rap lyric, I know every boy band lyric, and then I know every musical lyric ever. So I've got a wide variety.
I don't know. I kind of make them up, but I do. I was very movie-y.
Yes,
Back in the day.
and I'm song E.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of the Maley Way. Hopefully, you have some good final what we're watching content. Like I hate when the final championship, whether it's for college football or college basketball or Super Bowl, when it blows. So hopefully it's a good
With
game.
applause, yeah.
You know, I hope it's not a blowout.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple games this weekend that were kind of blowouts.
Yeah.
But like I want it to be a good, close game where everyone's laser focused.
I want Michigan versus Illinois. I want the Big Ten to win a national championship.
Ooh, Big Ten, baby.
And
We'll see.
Illinois-Savage.
We will see.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Go Tigers. Go Wildcats. Now I have to go to my 20-year reunion to get that gear from the DePaul bookstore. Happily will do it. All right. And we will see you soon because that's
The Maley Way.